All right, so sprint is, of course, we need to make sure sprint all the task is cleared up. Okay, that's the expectation from the team. Because whatever commitment we have done 15 days ago, the expectation is in my 50 hours or 80 hours commitment for this project, all the tasks need to be clear up. If the task is not clear up, what is this called? Means things are not done. It's called the carryover user story. Means the user story is not done. The user story is not done means everybody has to done their part. It's called the done. If the 5 tasks on the board, only 3 people has done, 2 people is not done, it is not the done. From the done point of view, it is not done. Everybody has to get it done, then done. But here, at least you get your part done. If someone has not finished, that will be carryover user story for that person. Good? And you do not create any user story on the board unless this is your carryover user story. See this, how the math works? Let the product owner create the story in the left side. You can only create the moment you are behind. You are behind, that's called the carryover user story. And of course, carryover user story can go to the next sprint because not everything is done, right? Some of the things are not done, it will go to the next sprint. That's called the carryover user sprint, carryover user story. Now, it brings another concept now, it's called velocity. So you'll be hearing another word, velocity. Velocity means how the team, development team consistently get the work done in a sprint. So in the beginning, we made the commitment out of the 10 user story, all will be done, right? That's the commitment. End of the sprint, we found out we only done 70%. 30% is the velocity. Good? So how the commitment we made, whatever work is done, that's the velocity. Velocity is adjusted up and down because user story complexity is always different. Good? User story complexity, the dependency always different. So the velocity goes up and down. Any question on it? So make sure so summarize one more time. You do not create a user story in the middle of the sprint unless it is authorized. Number 2, you do not, in this sprint board, you do not create a user story unless this is your carryover user story. Means you are behind, you need to create this, and nobody should create the task on your user story. It's only you. And then last day, the goal is all the tasks need to be completed. So it means we are in the run. We are in the running journey. Sprint means we are running continuously. We are chasing, get the work done. You have to make sure before you come to the sprint planning meeting, you need to make sure all the task is moved on. If you are not done, then you need to address. That's the moment you need to create another story that you will be writing the details. February 19, workshop is not done for you, and you will be typing your name. You'll assign to yourself, you create the task. Good? That's the best practice. If you find a bug, in this technical test and task, right? You create if it is not the specific in this sprint, do not bring into the sprint. It has to be in the backlog for now. Why? Because we are testing ABC. On the XYZ screen, we found a bug, right? At this moment, at least we can discuss in the sync-up call, but let the product owner decide. Good? Whether they will bring the bug in this sprint or not. So anything you find, bug or the new user story, means something is not exist, we need to add this, or existing functionality need to be improved, means the enhancement. Anything you find, you create it and then add into the backlog. That should be good. Any question?
So they're not supposed to delete any user story. Like I don't see one of my user story that I created. It got deleted by somebody.
You should not delete any user story. We can recover this, but you should not be any situation. You should not edit any user story. You only go open a user story, please. Open any. You only go to the discussion section. That's the you should add. Make sense? You only go to the discussion section, then you can mention someone, anyone. Mention the product owner, mention the developer, anyone. Good. You should not delete any user story because it is already recorded. It can be.
And they cannot just change my name and assume, they cannot change my name here to there and then assume that this is their story.
Yep. Yes. So do not. You only create the task and you put your name. Yes, you do not change it also. Good, because this is actually the law.
And the user story. User story is on the left. There should be 3 user stories on the left, no more than 3 user stories. And from those user story, you click on the plus sign. Here is the task. Here is the bug, whatever you're creating. And that's where you create your task. You don't create a new user story.
Yep, you create only new user story if you are behind on the workshop, as I mentioned. At that time, you can create the user story by your name only. And you only create the task for you. Nobody should involve. But if 3 of you are behind on one workshop, yeah, create one. You take the ownership, but all of you create the task. That's also fine. So you are managing your project. Make sure you get the work done. Good? Farhan, anything else?
Yeah, so end of this workshop, everybody can just come here and take your card to close.
Your voice is getting cut up in and out. Not a pleasure experience.
I'm sorry.
Fix your internet, please. What did you say?
Okay, is it better now? Can you hear me? So everybody needs to clean up once the workshop is done. They can come here. They can clean up. They can move their car.
Okay, please.
Yes.
So she's saying after the workshop is done, sprint is done, make sure you clear up your board. Because if you do not clear up your board, it means it's not done. You see, that's how the Scrum works. We actually, that's exactly the Scrum works. Every task has if you do not create the task, that's your responsibility. Make sense? And if you do not do this, of course, you will find out different way. Anything else?
These are the 2 people, if you can see on the screen. Abu Yahya, if he's here, Mahabub Banur, they're not on the project.
Did you accept the Agile LM request? You did not yet. Okay. Okay, so we'll be looking again.
I can send the request again and they can check today. And they're supposed to accept it.
Okay.
Both of these people. What about the people on the bottom in red here?
They need to join as well. They did not join. Munna, Hafizur Munna, you need to accept Agile LM request. Project management request, you received an email. That's the reason, Munna, all has come to the office. Moving forward, you never stay. Whoever in Michigan, never stay at home. This is very serious. If you want to be successful, just listen everything. You can try your way, it will not work. I can assure you, 1,000,000%. You can try your way, you can try be comfort, it will not work. Good luck. Okay? If you received an email. You received an email, check your email, and then you click that email, that's it. Good? So read the chat group.
And the next step is to create your task. I still see 2 people, they don't have anything.
You see this, they know everything. Because they're in the Agile LM, there is a query section. She can actually write the query, she can find out. So Aliana, you can help her. She will help you. Aliana will help you to do this after the workshop. So stay there, take the notes. Okay, what else?
This is it for QA group. I just have a question. I'm sorry.
The voice sucks.
I just have a question. You said today there is a workshop for Python group. Do they have like 2 workshops? Because I
stop talking. I cannot continue conversation with you because your voice is not clear. We are misguided. Okay. You join from something else.
All right, let's have it for later on. Yes.
Yeah. Because there is no issues on here, right? So you see, okay, so you see the challenge is, so good news is you guys are learning the Scrum as you are doing it. That's the reason I was not too worried. I was not too worried because you eventually you'll be the pro on the Scrum. And that's actually the work is. That's exactly, you create a task, this has become the law of the land. So that task you need to be clear up or your work will be assigned. That's simple. And they do
Excuse
this.
me.
Yes.
I also need an invite for the Agile ALM.
Yep. Tahmid, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tahmid will be Tahmid. You'll get the you can send. We will be sending you the request as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Write in the chat group, main chat group. Hey, please send me the Agile ALM request. So here we have only a way to communicate with everybody equally, centrally, functionally, whatever you call it, only the chat group. And this is actually your core job. There is no single way you can be successful in any software development team if you are not able to cope up the chat. This is that simple. One more time. You cannot cope up any software development company if you are not able to communicate in the chat group. Simple. There is no other math here. I cannot protect your job. I cannot keep up your job. That's the reason you need. This is the one of the core job. Yeah, if you are not getting it, just say, hey, just follow up the second time, right? Hey, Farhan, I'm just following up the second time I did not receive. Can you please send again? Good? Please, this is very important.